Hi, my name is Kan Yang. I am the team lead at the Instrument Design Laboratory at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. And within the Instrument Design Laboratory, I lead teams to design NASA's next generation of spaceflight instruments. This is my origin story. So my interest in engineering was actually sparked from two different sources during my childhood. My parents, when I was a kid, they would take me to a lot of different observatories and planetariums. And I remember seeing Comet Hale-Bopp, which was one of the great comets of the 1990s, hanging in the sky. And that really ignited my interest in astronomy. As a child, I also loved building things. So I had this big bin of Legos, and I would use that to build cars and planes and buildings and other things that I liked. And I would watch a lot of sci-fi movies as well, and I would draw out my own designs for spaceships. But actually, until middle school, I had no idea that there was a career path that perfectly meshed the two interests. So when I found out about aerospace engineering, I wanted to learn everything there was to know about what aerospace engineers did. I actually did have a very discrete turning point. In the late 90s, there was a sci-fi movie that came out called Contact, and it was based on a book by Carl Sagan, right? So I hadn't heard about Carl Sagan before this, and I was just really fascinated with the story of Contact. So that movie inspired me to read a lot of other works by Carl Sagan, and it really changed my thoughts on how those two interests that I had weren't really mutually exclusive. So Sagan described studying the universe as like this very profound and humbling experience, and it's a way for the universe to know itself. He also talked about space exploration as being one of the noblest pursuits that you could have, one of the greatest ways that we can benefit humanity. And it's not just about helping us understand the unknown, which is important, but also helping us develop technologies that could have a huge impact for life here on Earth. So it really clicked for me that by becoming an aerospace engineer, I wasn't really just limited to doing the technical part of my job, but could also inspire others through my work as well. The work that I do today is actually very closely linked to what inspired me. We design instruments to study the sun, the earth, all the planets and moons in the solar system. We study astrophysics as well with our instruments, so studying a lot about the cosmos. And I feel really inspired that I get to lead a team to design all this instrumentation that will make the newest discoveries to advance our understanding of our home planet, as well as everything in the universe. So it really kind of echoes the positive impact that I wanted to bring to the world when I chose engineering. The advice that I'd like to give is just don't be intimidated in pursuing engineering. Even if you don't have the strongest background in STEM, I was always better at English. I was always better at history. I wasn't that great in my science and math classes. But what's really important is that you just have an innate curiosity for how things work. You have a passion for problem solving as well. Surprisingly enough, engineering skills are actually transferable, regardless of if you're a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, a biomedical engineer, for example, right? The principles are relatively similar regardless of the field. As long as you really learn how to think like an engineer, I think that's what engineering school really teaches you, how to think like an engineer. You can pretty easily understand and then work towards solving another engineering problem.